All right, Jessica, thank you. And Alabama's Attorney General would monitor compliance of the law, and if signed into law, it would take effect October 1st.
All right, storm season is coming up, and this weekend you can get ready without paying sales tax. This weekend is Alabama Severe Weather Preparedness Sales Tax Holiday. You can buy qualifying emergency supplies tax-free. So that includes batteries, flashlights, radios for the weather, tarps, generators. On the Gulf Coast, planning ahead is essential.
Because we do live in a hazard-prone area and we know storm season's approaching. It's incredibly important that we take the time before the season to stock up on the items that we need and we know we're going to need. And so it's incredibly important that they take advantage of this tax-free weekend to stock up on these essential items so that their household emergency kits can be complete and they can be prepared when severe weather strikes.
The tax-free weekend starts tomorrow. It goes through Sunday. It's one of two tax-free weekends that we have in Alabama every year. The other would be the back-to-school sales tax holiday.
We got glimpses of the sun, and now the clouds have rolled in, as you can see from this live look. The warmer temperatures, they are still around, though.
Yeah, definitely warmer with those clouds, Shelby. I'm wondering for how long. Meteorologist Nicholas Raposo is here with your forecast. Hey.
Hey, guys, you're right that it's very, very warm today.
Yes.
I mean, extremely. We're touching 80 in many locations.
Wow.
I went on a run earlier today and I was like, gosh, it feels like summer. I
It did feel the same. I was in that same boat earlier and I was like, huh.
But then I got word that maybe next week it's going to be a
completely
complete
different
change.
Yeah, it's totally different. And that's kind of the big headline. Also, you mentioned severe weather season starting.
Right.
There's actually a severe weather risk in the central, kind of Midwest right now, Ohio Valley. That's going to be an interesting thing that we're watching all the way through this evening. And we have a chance for thunderstorms once we get towards this weekend, Friday into Saturday. So we had a lot to talk about here. Let's talk about this. First of all, here's a regional view. You notice we do have some rain showers out there developing almost like a summer day where they're just popping up in the afternoon, daytime heating here. Also, we've seen an increase in cloud cover, but across the region you can see it's generally quiet. You can kind of tell based on the more puffy look of the clouds that these are cumulus clouds, and this is a warmer air mass here in the deep south. Let's go off to the north, though. You can see that we have some warnings issued here for portions of Illinois and Indiana. This is going to be our severe weather risk area for today, just off, well off to our north here, south of Chicago. Places like Indianapolis, also Louisville, Kentucky, involved in this risk. And here it is. You see the enhanced risk. That's level 3 out of 5. The first time we've had an enhanced severe weather risk in a long time. Severe weather season eventually kind of really ramping up here as we go into the more springtime season. For us locally, we have no severe weather issues over the next couple of days. We have just warm temperatures, 81 degrees in Grove Hill, 74 in Mobile, 75 in Pensacola. We are also dealing with some gusty winds out of the south here, around 15 miles per hour. We've been watching some of our live cameras, 73 down at the beach in Orange Beach. Our all-in credit union camera, this is at Dolphin, 73 degrees there. There are some rain showers that we are tracking right now. Northern Okaloosa County dealt with a decent batch of rain showers. Here near Bruton and Century, Jay, we do have some light showers as well. And also you can see even into Mobile, we have a couple of showers. So that's going to be something we're watching overnight tonight with the potential for some fog as well. But the big temperature change happens next week once this front passes. Some thunderstorms possible. We'll break down the details coming up.
All right, Nick, we'll check in with you shortly. We've got developing news now at 4. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly known as Prince Andrew, was arrested today and on his 66th birthday. UK police arresting him on suspicion of misconduct in public office. He has since been released. The arrest follows an investigation into his involvement with the Jeffrey Epstein case. Andrew is Queen Elizabeth's third child. His brother, King Charles, stripped him of the royal title of prince because of his connection to the late convicted sex offender. Andrew denies any and all wrongdoing in his dealings with Epstein. King Charles says he's concerned about Andrew's arrest, then stressed, quote, "The law must take its course."
President Donald Trump's first State of the Union address of his second term is expected to be wide-ranging. But foreign policy has been particularly a source of pride for the president over the last year. Fox News senior national correspondent Peter Zampa tells us what we can expect.
As President Donald Trump prepares to address a joint session of Congress on the State of the Union, foreign policy is expected to play a substantial role in his speech. It's an area where President Trump gives himself high marks. It's also an area that has much of the world order hanging on a knife's edge.
Biden, who is the worst president in the history of our country.
We're just in a different world now, and every country in the world understands that.
Lincoln Mitchell is a foreign policy expert at Columbia University. Between imposing tariffs on U.S. allies, threats of seizing sovereign territory like Greenland, and building an international board of peace, Mitchell argues the post-World War II order may never be the same.
It's really changed how the U.S. relates to and how the rest of the world sees the United States, particularly how our allies see us.
Over the last year, President Trump consistently mentioned his part in ending multiple wars around the world.
Settle the war, get it finished.
The president believes he was snubbed when he did not win the Nobel Peace Prize. But he also pledged to end the Ukraine-Russia war within the first week of his second term.
My sense is that if this war was going to end anytime soon, it would have ended already.
Mitchell says the president should be credited for crafting a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas.
If you end that and get a fragile ceasefire, that's good, right? We want fragile ceasefire is still a ceasefire.
President Trump also sending a message in the Middle East by bolstering the military presence aimed at Iran. In the Western Hemisphere, the dramatic arrest and extradition of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, showing the president's willingness to dismantle regimes he sees at odds with U.S. interests. Many State of the Union observers will be curious to see how the president lays out his foreign policy roadmap for the year ahead. Particular attention will be paid to comments about our allies and organizations like NATO and the United Nations. Reporting in New York, I'm Peter Zampa.
4:08 is your time. The Bayway, there's almost a little bit of fog out there. What you're seeing way off in the distance is a little bit of reduced visibility. There is this light fogginess on the Bayway, but it is not enough to actually impact travel. You do see that for the most part, our Interstate 10 looks good here across southwest Alabama here in northwest Florida. There are some areas that are slightly slower if you're heading westbound into the Wallace Tunnel. Slightly slower, but again, this is not out of the ordinary. Government Street seems to be going well. US 90 looks like Interstate 65 is okay as well. And hopping over to Pensacola, it is a little slower in the construction zone here and the interchange from 110 to 10, but that is a typical slowdown here. Otherwise, no major issues to report at this time. Again, going back to the Bayway, it seems pretty normal for our drive times here at 7 minutes both ways. We'll keep you updated if anything changes.
All right, Nicholas, and talking about traffic, we've got some construction to talk about. In Baldwin County, the County Road 64 widening project continues in Bell Forest.
Yeah, the county has secured $2 million in federal funding through the Eastern Shore MPO to get started on phase 2 of the multi-year project. This phase will get underway the next few months and will consist of the relocation of all underground utilities.
Right-of-way was secured, clearing during phase 1, but the project has been on hold the last several months while waiting on funding. When it's finished, County Road 64 will be turned into a 3-lane road with a center turn lane from Fish River west to Highway 181, and 2 traffic signals are being added.
So the Eastern Shore area, the Bell Forest area, the County Road 64 corridor as you enter Daphne has been one of the fastest growing areas of the county for quite some time, and that trend is continuing today. There's no sign of it slowing down. So getting this corridor, for the east-west movements improved from a 2-lane road to a multi-lane road is vastly important.
Well, coming up on Fox News at 5, we're going to take a closer look at the project and the timeline on this $14+ million job. You're also going to hear reaction from a business owner who will be impacted by the changes.
Well, still ahead on Fox News at 4, Heart Health Month continues, and we are continuing the conversation. Next, how you can get a baseline for your heart health for free. It's an opportunity you can't afford to miss. Information in a studio interview. Also, are you earning overtime or tips? A new tax deduction could put thousands of dollars back into your pocket. We'll talk about who qualifies, how to claim that money, even if you take the standard deduction. It is news for your wallet. Next, stay close.
In Depth with Sarah Wall, mornings at 9 on the Fox 10 Go.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with Fox 10 News at 4. We continue the conversation around this Heart Health Month. Next Friday, Fox 10 and Infirmary Health, we are teaming up to show you some really important information with a free heart screening. It's an opportunity to show your heart some love. So here to talk more about that is Jill Ricks with Infirmary Health. Thank you for stopping by.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Always good to see you.
Good to see you.
And especially when we're talking about heart health.
Absolutely.
You know, we know that there are things that we can control, right? Like, you know, your genetics, but what you can control is your lifestyle, and that's where this screening comes into play.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a great opportunity to just get that baseline check. You know, we're looking at your cholesterol, so we'll take your total, your good cholesterol, bad triglycerides, and your glucose levels.
Yeah, it goes back to knowing your numbers, because when you know what your heart numbers are, then you know what steps you need to take if you need to make some adjustments. So this is coming up fast. When and where?
So it'll be next Friday,
Yes.
February 27th, from 8 to 11 a.m. And it is at all 3 of our fitness centers for Infirmary Health. So we're in Fairhope at Thomas, at Pro Health in Mobile, and North Baldwin Fitness in Bay Minette.
I love that you guys offer this service for people to come in. What I find is that a lot of people think they have it under control because they're functioning with, let's just say, hypertension, because that's an easy one to pick on. And then when they get in there and they have it checked,
yes,
and they're like,
yes, they have no idea that it's that out of control. And then it gives us an opportunity to ask them, you know, do you have a physician? And if you don't, we can get you connected. So it gives an opportunity to get somebody like in care that they might not have been in before. So.
And these are things that you would normally look for if you do your physical exams, but sometimes we don't always do that.
Right, exactly. A lot of times, you know, people say, well, I've run out of time or it's too costly. And so this is free. You don't have to register ahead of time. You just show up.
You just show up. So you're making it very easy. We've got the information on your screen, and I love this title, Show Your Heart Some Love. It is going to be next Friday from 8 until 11. Fox 10 teaming up with Infirmary Health. You can see the 3 locations there on your screen. Really no excuse.
No excuse at all.
We've got you covered from Mobile to Baldwin.
Absolutely. Every location in between.
I'm curious, because you've done this before. What surprises you most when people come out?
It's probably that people, yeah, like you said, think that they're in great health, and then they come out and they find out that some of their numbers are very skewed, and they just are like, oh, I had no idea. And then they're like, well, what can I do to fix it? So we have you know, doctors that are out there, residents, medical students, and so we've got lots of people that can give them any of the information that they may have questions about.
And because I love talking about preventative health, and I know that you do too, fitness. Let's go ahead and talk about how that can really play a role in helping your heart.
Absolutely. I mean, they recommend 30 minutes a day. I mean, everybody's got that time. Get up, walk, move around, get your steps in, because that's really going to help do all the things. It's going to lower your blood pressure, lower your blood glucose. I mean, it's just overall good for your heart.
It's also a mood booster.
It is. It makes you so happy.
Yes, right? So yes, get on out there and make sure that you mark this on your calendar so you can have your numbers checked. Keep your heart in check. February is Heart Health Awareness Month, and this is the time.
Absolutely. This is the time. Get it done.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be sure to have this posted for you on our website shortly after this newscast. Look for it, fox10tv.com in the interview section.
4:18 is your time. That is a rain shower. Here from our All-In Credit Union camera. We haven't seen a ton of those recently, but now we have some popping up on radar. It's been a really interesting view from these live cameras. Great shot there. This is a shot just kind of down the road here from Battleship Memorial Park. 73 degrees right now. That rain shower's just kind of off of the screen there. Navigator Credit Union camera. Nice to see traffic flowing smoothly. You almost notice a little bit of this haziness. There's almost like fogginess out there. It's extremely humid, and dew point of 69 with a temperature of 73 degrees. So you're going to notice that if you step out the door. This shot does not have any rain showers in it, but if I were to spin it north, you would see some of those. Hopping down to Dauphin Island. This is our camera at the Dauphin Island Sea Lab on the east end, looking out over Mobile Bay, and you can see some breaks in the clouds down here. Your forecast over the next few hours, mostly cloudy conditions with temperatures floating around 70 degrees. Here's that radar. Let's check out where those showers are right now. In northern Okaloosa County, north of Interstate 10, we've had some passing showers recently. Had some passing showers earlier in Crestview, just north of Auburn, Florida. We do have one heavier shower going on. Northern Escambia County also dealing with some rain showers. Northern Santa Rosa County near Jay. Then also Bruton, you have some showers in between Bruton and Interstate 65. Those are kind of drifting from southwest to northeast here. Then in northern Baldwin County, very, very light sprinkles, and also those showers that are on the north side of Mobile, just north of Interstate 10. Looking at the bigger picture, there's that batch of showers that we were tracking. We expected to have something like this today. If we zoom way out in the picture, though, look off well to our north. Illinois, Indiana, this is Indianapolis right here. Here's Cincinnati, Ohio. See those tornado warnings there? It's active weather for this part of the country. You have an enhanced risk of severe weather just south of Indianapolis and a slight risk around that. Marginal risk goes all the way down to portions of Tennessee, including Nashville. Now, this is not coming our way, but we have a chance for thunderstorms, not tomorrow, but on Saturday. Here's tomorrow's severe weather risk for the northern part of the state of Mississippi and Alabama. Then severe weather outlook for Saturday, a marginal risk of severe weather. This is the lowest end. I think we could see a couple of strong thunderstorms, but it really does not seem very likely. In fact, the coverage does not seem very high. Here's Friday. We start the day with mostly cloudy conditions, some patchy fog possible on Friday, so do not be surprised if you see any of that. Then as we go through the afternoon, a couple of showers are possible, cannot be ruled out. A boundary will be sitting just near our area. Temperatures will be very warm. Then this is the thing that we're focusing on as we get into Saturday here. See this band of rain showers. Could see a couple of thunderstorms that try to develop here, but again, they're few and far between. Overnight tonight, we're going to have temperatures in the 60s. And looking ahead in the forecast, we have a colder spell ahead. Highs in the 50s, lows in the 30s by next week. It is going to be a chilly outlook as we start the week ahead.
Well, there are tax changes you need to know about this year, especially if you earn tips or get overtime. In this Watching Your Wallet, consumer investigator Rachel DePompa gives us a breakdown.
You heard the phrase no tax on tips or overtime. It's not necessarily no tax. It's actually a deduction you can take when you file your taxes. For instance, if you earn overtime pay at work, this year you may be able to deduct up to $12,500 of qualified overtime compensation on your federal income tax return. It's up to $25,000 for married people filing jointly. That deduction is gradually phased out if your modified gross income exceeds $150,000 or $300,000 for those who file jointly. Same goes for tips. There's a deduction this year. Michael Joyce with CW Advisors says for tipped workers, the maximum annual deduction is $25,000, which phases out for taxpayers with modified adjusted gross incomes over $150,000. $300,000 for joint filers.
Another piece to that, and this would apply to overtime as well, and this is a new part of the tax law, is a lot of people that earn tips, when they file their taxes, they're taking the standard deduction. So, but they can still deduct this. This is called a below the line deduction. So you can still take the standard deduction rather than itemized deductions, but still take this below the line deduction for tips or overtime.
The IRS estimates there are about 6 million workers who report tipped wages, so a good number of them would likely qualify for this. The overtime and tip deductions are temporary and only apply for the 2025 through 2028 tax years. A lot of the major tax software companies have actively prepared for this change, and you can always read more about it on irs.gov as well. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Rachel DePompa.
Well, from the Super Bowl stage to the silver screen, find out how Bad Bunny is now making history. It's up next. Well, there's a new casting addition to the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise.
Yeah, Kristen Bell is going to be the voice of Amy Rose in Sonic the Hedgehog 4. In the video game, Amy Rose is the pink hedgehog with a crush on Sonic.
The fourth Sonic movie is due in theaters in March of 2027. Of course, Belle's voice is famous for being Anna in Frozen.
I didn't know that.
Yes, we watched that one a lot at our house too. It's like this one as well.
Yeah, that movie. I know. Oh, please.
Be stuck in your head all day.
Yes. I know it was very popular, and my daughter saw that, and I just remember waiting for that era to be over. Sonic the Hedgehog, I can't believe they've made this many movies with it.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I've seen all of them.
Oh, look at you.
So there's that. They're entertaining. Speaking of entertainment, Woody and Buzz Lightyear, they are back again. Pixar releasing the first official trailer for Toy Story 5. Are you ready?
I am so ready. For those that know Baker, this is his obsession. 7 years after the last installment, the gang is reuniting as their jobs are challenged by the electronics that kids are obsessed with today. It's a very timely movie, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Director Andrew Stanton describes the film as an existential reckoning for toys facing the reality of becoming obsolete in the digital age.
Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, they are back leading the casting for voicing. Toy Story 5 opens in theaters June 19th. Now, I have not seen 4 yet because my family went without me, and I was very upset about that. Upset, right?
How dare they? I really enjoyed 4, surprisingly.
Really?
Sometimes you're like, okay, enough is enough. I've enjoyed every single Toy Story.
So see that before this, you think?
You know, sometimes you don't have to.
Right.
But I don't know how this one's going to turn out. It might be good just to see where they all are because they're no longer with Andy anymore.
Ryan says I need to, our director.
Spoiler alert.
Okay, all right. It's great, though, when those movies come out and the whole family can go and enjoy it. Music superstar Bad Bunny is going to be having a leading role for film. How about this? It's a historical drama, Puerto Rico.
Yeah, the film is described as an epic Caribbean Western inspired by true events surrounding Puerto Rico's origins. Edward Norton, Javier Bardem, and Viggo Mortensen will also star in the movie.
Okay, the release date for Puerto Rico has not been announced. Bad Bunny has been pretty busy performing for the, halftime show, for the NFL championship game, and he made history at the Grammys as the first Spanish language artist to take Album of the Year. Now acting added to that. But I always feel like musicians, artists, they have to have such stage presence anyway. There's a sort of acting going on there.
His music videos, he dresses up a lot, does different kind of almost characters, it seems like, in that. So I'm excited to see that. I think it'll be good. Viggo Mortensen, that's a name I hadn't heard in a long time.
No, I'm trying to think what I last saw. No, Javier Bardem. I mean, he's everywhere. But I have not seen Mortensen in a while.
He was in Lord of the Rings, which is one of my all-time favorites.
A while ago.
That was a while ago. So I'm interested to see that one.
Okay. Next up, we're going to continue talking about heart health. A research group is holding clinical trials to further the pursuit of making your life healthier. How you can get involved.
And we'll also have this story for you.
Nothing is 100% effective. They don't make you, immortal.
You've had both doses of the measles vaccine, so you're protected, right? We're going to tell you what to look for and why doctors are so concerned about this highly contagious virus.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 News.
And thank you for staying with us. In honor of Heart Health Awareness Month, we are highlighting an organization dedicated to clinical research to improve well-being. Here to talk about Velocity Clinical Research are Dr. Lauren Snundell and Laura Hill. Thank you both for joining us. I did not get that right. Did I?
With Lauren Snundell, it's Sindel.
Sindel, thank you.
I'll take either one.
We want to make sure we get that correct. Thank you guys for talking to us about this. First off, for people who aren't familiar with Velocity Clinical Research, what do you offer in Mobile?
So we are part of the world's largest research organization, and we are a multi-specialty research practice. So we offer heart health studies, pulmonary, women's health, vaccine trials, and a variety of different trials.
We hear a lot about clinical studies and clinical trials and the different phases that they have to go through in order for a treatment to be administered. Walk us through that and the importance of that.
Well, they start off by doing animal studies just to find out if the medicines seem to have some sort of benefit. They then typically look at treating healthy people who don't have the disease to see if there's any risks that they learn. That's usually a small population of people. Then you move into a phase 2 trial where you actually are looking to see if the medication works, and you're also looking for possible side effects. And then you move into a phase 3 trial, which is a larger trial, and they do a lot of they do some dosing in phase 2, but they do a lot more dosing stuff in phase 3, and it really gives you a much better look at how this medicine's likely to work and makes people feel much more secure about whether they're going to have problems or side effects with the medicine.
Yeah, you know, we have heard of a lot of good medications that have come out of clinical trials, but there is some hesitancy for people to get involved. But you do need that in order to find out if you have something that can work.
Everything in your medicine cabinet went through a clinical trial. And the clinical trials, if you can just watch the news and look at the ads, the things that have happened in medicine because of changes in the medications is phenomenal. The success of the medications we have now is also phenomenal. And all of that had to go through a clinical trial.
What are you guys seeing when it comes to heart disease in the research right now?
One of the biggest drivers in heart disease and in many other diseases is weight. Okay, and we actually are doing a study that looks at weight control for people who have heart disease risk.
Okay, all right. And so if people want to get involved or they want to learn more about the facility, how can they do that?
You can call us at 251-263-5669, or you can visit our website, velocityclinical.com. It'll list trials and tell you how to reach us. And we also have an app. It's called Vision Engage, and it'll connect you with us and connect you to the site. If you're not ready to call us, you can go on there and see what you've got and get set up with us.
Well, we are out of time. I wish we could discuss this further, but I do want to thank you guys for stopping by.
Thank you
for having us.
We'll have this listed on fox10tv.com in case you didn't have a writing utensil and some paper for that phone number. You can look for the information shortly on fox10tv.com.
4:38 now. This is our Admiral camera. We're tracking some rain showers out there on our Thursday, and I think that continues into our Friday and even on Saturday. We have a boundary that's coming in here that'll give us that chance of rain. Here we are on the Fox 10 weather app, and you see some rain showers out there. Actually, in North Mobile, I'll mention that I just got the notification on my Fox 10 weather app on my phone about heavy rain near your locations just to our north. A bit of a heavier downpour there. Also some heavier downpours over the Delta. If you're driving on the bridge here over the Delta on 65, you get an interesting view if you look off to your south with those rain showers. Escambia County, Santa Rosa County, Escambia County, Alabama, Connecticut County, all dealing with some decent showers here. And remember, you can track it all on the Fox 10 weather app. We have past and future radar available on the app. The future radar will take this and push it out in time for a few hours. Also, we have your weather videos, and of course you can submit your pictures and videos on the Fox 10 weather app, which we encourage you to do so. Your weather headlines for today: mostly cloudy and there's a bit of a breeze out there, and that'll continue overnight tonight. There is also potential some patchy fog overnight tonight. Later this week, especially Friday and Saturday, we do have some potential for some thunderstorms. I think that'll be mostly on Saturday. There's a marginal risk for severe weather. Then after all this happens, a big temperature change on the way. By early next week, we're talking about temperatures going all the way down into the 30s and 20s. So buckle up. Here we go. Saturday, we have a thunderstorm chance. It's a marginal risk of severe weather. The odds of seeing a severe thunderstorm are so small on Saturday. I think we might see a couple of stronger thunderstorms. When I say a couple, I literally mean a couple as this boundary passes through here. Next few hours, you can see here on our futurecast, we have some patchy fog out there overnight tonight. Friday, we're going to see some rain showers scattered, very similar to what we saw today. Friday night, we have mild temperatures. Then on Saturday, here's that boundary coming in here. You can see that, and that pushes in with that chance of rain showers and possibly a couple thunderstorms. So that's going to be the thing you're looking at. We'll keep you updated on that. I'll have a look at that long-range forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, Nick, thank you. The FDA dropping its long-time two-study standard for drug approvals. The FDA Commissioner, Dr. Marty Makary, says the agency will now require new drugs and other health products to only have one study in order to receive approval. The change is one of several being proposed by the Trump administration to shorten the review process for new drugs and increase availability of certain medications. The FDA says the change will create a surge in drug development. It's a major concern in the U.S. already. In 2026, there have been 5 new outbreaks of the measles.
Yeah, with the virus reported in 24 states, health experts say vaccination is the best protection. But you can still get infected by the measles virus even if you've gotten both doses. That's the question.
Yeah, let's go to Mandy Gaither now. She is speaking with a doctor about what to know regarding this virus and the vaccine.
2 doses of the vaccine that protects against measles are about 97% effective at preventing infection from the virus. But what about that other 3%?
Nothing is 100% effective. They don't make you, immortal.
Dr. Sarah Nozel with the American Academy of Family Physicians says it's rare, but about 3 in every 100 people exposed to measles can still catch the virus even if they're fully vaccinated against the disease. However, she says getting both doses of the vaccine significantly lowers risk of being infected. And if you do get sick, she says the illness isn't likely to be as severe as it could be in an unvaccinated person.
Sick, at first it can look like a cold. You can get a fever and a cough, red eyes, runny nose. But as you get more sick, 1 in 4 individuals, children who get measles, will end up hospitalized.
Less than 3 months into 2026, there have been 910 confirmed measles cases reported to the CDC. Of those, 94% were in people who were either unvaccinated or their vaccination status was unknown. 30 of those patients were hospitalized, most of them under age 5.
Doctors are afraid of measles. Measles is incredibly scary in the sense that it is so contagious. So if you haven't been protected with a vaccine, you are very likely to get infected if anyone around you has the measles.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Coming up, free family entertainment in Foley for those who like trains. Stay close.
Fox 10 Storm Tracker weather.
Let's get caught up on the stories we're working on behind the scenes for your most local news at 5. First, we're hearing from a man who caught the dash cam video of a deadly crash. This involved a prison transport van in Mississippi. What he's telling us about what he saw.
Plus, we are finding out why it may be tough for the Hispanic community to talk to law enforcement. It comes after a Theodore mother and her 2 children were kidnapped almost 3 weeks ago. And then a unique look at history aboard the USS Alabama. In this week's We the People, a journey to understand POW camps in the U.S. We'll have those stories and more in about 15 minutes from now on Fox 10 News at 5.
Get ready for some patchy, dense fog overnight tonight. We are tracking some rain showers out there as well, and I think more scattered showers are possible on our Friday and even into our Saturday. And speaking of Friday and Saturday, we can't rule out some thunderstorms during that period. This is all associated with a system, a cold front that's going to pass through, and it takes a minute, but eventually we'll get that cold front to pass through, and some much colder air, some seriously colder air is coming next week. Here's your fog futurecast. And around half-mile visibility cannot be ruled out for us overnight tonight. It's not going to be terrible, and we have a little bit of wind out there, and that kind of puts a fly in the ointment for the fog forecast. But it's so humid that we're going to keep an eye on this, and of course we'll be updating you through the evening and nighttime hours, especially tomorrow morning if it does become particularly dense. If anything, it would linger near our coastal areas for a longer period of time as we go through the day on Friday. Tomorrow morning, temperatures in the 60s, 65 degrees in Grove Hill and Monroeville, 66 in Mobile, 67 in Pensacola, 67 Crestview, and 66 in Destin. The afternoon temperatures soar to near record territory. 80 degrees in Lucedale, 78 Leakesville, 81 in Mobile. That would break the record, even though I will mention the record is very low for tomorrow. It's 79. 80 in Molino and 80 in Milton as well. 82 in Bruton. Here is that almanac, and you can see that record. Normal is 67, so we're way above that. But 79 set back in 2018. Getting colder, though. After this system passes, we really drop out with temperatures actually going below average. 67 is that average again. 56 for Monday. And then the morning temperatures really getting down there. We have a light freeze in the forecast. Tuesday morning especially cold, especially if things are calm out there. It'll be mostly clear sky, 30 degrees what we get to. Talking about rain chances, here you can see bumping them up on Saturday during the day as the front passes. Then we clear Saturday night. Then next week is looking much quieter and colder with those temperatures quickly dropping behind the front.
All right, thank you, Nicholas. Well, if you were looking for something fun and free to do with the family today, the Foley Event Train made special holiday runs at Heritage Park. Fox 10's Stephen Moody has more.
And we're off. It was the perfect day for a train ride around Heritage Park in Foley. Rides were free and open to the public, and each trip only lasted about 15 to 20 minutes. The families were excited to ride around the area.
Really fun. I haven't been on there in a long time.
Oh, it was great. I love the train. We live pretty local, so it's great to get to come over here, and this is such a beautiful service that they offer for, our community and for our visitors.
The train features about 4 passenger cars, with each car able to carry up to 4 people. And for our conductor, Bob, it's always rewarding. The train typically runs on Saturdays throughout the year, with additional Tuesday and Thursday rides offered during school holidays in the summer. And on a busy day, over 200 people will ride this train.
I would do it every day if they would let me. I did it on Tuesday, and I'm doing it today. I was in the Christmas parade. I was in the Mardi Gras parade. So I just love doing it.
After the ride, visitors were encouraged to step inside of the Railroad Museum to see their beautiful model trains. And for the younger riders, the whole experience is highly recommended.
I would tell them to enjoy the ride and that they would have a lot of fun.
Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
Well, some people, they're prioritizing catching Z's while on vacation.
Yeah, we could take a page from this. The Wall Street Journal reporting there's been an increase in Gen Z and millennial travelers taking trips that they call sleepcations. So that's when you choose to spend time sleeping instead of exploring wherever you are.
According to the report, many hotels have caught on to the growing trend. Some are offering vacationers special sleep packages with snooze-enhancing products like weighted blankets and eye masks. I would be down for this. I do love 2 types of vacations. One where you're going, you're hiking, you're seeing things, and then I like those vacations where you just go to the beach and you don't really leave your condo except for the beach and you sleep everywhere.
Yeah, I would love to be able to do that.
You can't sleep as easily, can you?
I know. It's the story of my whole life.
Oh, well, don't fall asleep yet, okay? We've got more coming up for you on the other side of this break. We'll be right back.
Well, all eyes on an American trio nicknamed Blade Angels, the elegance of Olympic figure skaters and the energy of a really tech-savvy routine. It can be enhanced if you have the right costume.
But those designs require more than just a vision. Karen Cava takes us behind that process.
Naomi Brunson's Northern Virginia workspace has no shortage of sparkle.
Tons of rhinestones and hand beading around the neck.
As she takes a figure skater's vision from sketch to stitches.
She has some lace that's going to get added, and then everything will be all rhinestoned.
Brunson designed dance costumes from the time she was a teenager, but designing for the ice was always a dream. After her husband retired from the military and they settled down, she got going in 2019.
I've worked with some junior level skaters and some senior level skaters, a couple of skaters on the national team. But mostly what I do are just regular competitive skaters who are, they're not going to the Olympics, but they love it and they're passionate about it.
Whether a skater competes for fun or reaches peak Olympic ice, costumes can draw in the audience and boost the confidence of performers. Lisa McKinnon, who designed Olympic looks for U.S. skaters Alyssa Liu, Amber Glenn, and Isabeau Levito, was a competitive skater herself and just 12 when she started designing costumes.
That's where my expertise comes in hand too, where it's like,
okay, but we also need to put it together. It needs to work. It needs to be skatable, and all these things.
She says her experience gives her an idea of how a look will feel as she collaborates with skaters, choreographers, and more.
I need to narrow down and put together and make sure that it suits the person and that it suits the program.
Because in addition to a skater's vision, there are rules. The International Skating Union says clothing must be modest and decorations firm. Things Brunson learned transitioning from dance to ice.
If you're skating on the ice and your feathers start shedding, it can be problematic and you could lose a point. It also can become a safety feature.
The work takes time. Brunson says she takes about 10 hours for setup, including sketches, and another 10 to sometimes 40 hours on construction, depending on the design.
Probably around 120,000 rhinestones last year that I hand put, and those are put on one at a time. Individually, plus beadwork. There's a lot of handwork. The lace is hand sewn.
Some of that work done in front of the TV during the Olympic Games.
Something where I can just sit on the couch, at 3 in the morning.
Admiring, she says, the work of McKinnon and other designers in the same unique space. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Our Shelby Myers joining us now with the details on the reward and new insight into why potential witnesses, they might be afraid to come forward. Shelby.
Yeah, Lenise and Cameron. Sylvia Lessa-Scoltetti is the president of the Hispanic Business Association. She's a trusted source for Mobile and Baldwin County Hispanic communities. She says people may want to help the Chalk family, but there are many reasons why fear could keep them silent.
A lot of people, probably some of the Latinos, don't even pay attention what's going on in the news. They live in their own bubble. They go to work, come back home, try to feed their family.
Sylvia Lessa-Scoltetti puts on the vibrant Latin Fest in downtown Mobile every year. She's the president of the Hispanic Business Association. While she doesn't know the missing Chalk family, she is someone people in the local Hispanic communities trust. Aurelia, her now 18-year-old daughter Norica, and 2-year-old son Anthony were taken from their Theodore home in the middle of the night, January 31st. They haven't been found. Aurelia and Norica are from Guatemala. The man accused of taking them but isn't saying where is from El Salvador. Thursday, the FBI announcing a $15,000 reward for information leading to the location and recovery of Aurelia, Norica, and Anthony. It's a sign of how urgent this case has become. The sheriff's office and federal investigators say this case is especially difficult. There's a language barrier between them and those who worked with and lived near the Chalk family. They're asking them to come forward with any information that could help. Lessa-Scoltetti says it may not be that simple. Besides a language barrier, she says there's also a culture barrier.
Some of these countries, they have cartels, they have drug dealers, you have to, if you have to be in business, they bribe your business to your business be open, your family live in fear. So they don't have that trust, I feel this country is very safe. We can trust our policemen, but some of them, they don't even call the police if they have an emergency.
Lessa-Scoltetti says there's another fear. Deportation. If people speak up and bring attention to their tight-knit community, they worry they could be deported.
They have been here, for some of these people, 25, 10 years. They already have their little job. They're paying the bills. They're saving a little money and send to their family in Guatemala, wherever they're from. They don't want to lose that, And what's going to happen with their kids? A lot of these kids was born here. They're bilingual. This is what they know, So they don't want to jeopardize the stability, the little they have.
And Lessa-Scoltetti says the best approach she believes that could get people in the Hispanic community talking is to send in someone in regular clothes who speaks Spanish and understands the culture. Again, the FBI is now offering a $15,000 reward that broke just hours ago. This all for information that leads to the location and recovery of the Chalk family, as they are still missing, as we are almost 3 weeks since their disappearance. If you have any information, call the Mobile County Sheriff's Office or the FBI. In the studio tonight, Shelby Myers, Fox 10 News.